A lot of municipal officials come from a wide variety of backgrounds, and so we want everyone to get on the same page and understand their role. So the roundtables are people sit in a room and pick a topic of their choice at a table, and they rotate every 30 minutes, and it's handy just to have a quick get to know you, here's my card, and they can ask questions, and they make key contacts that they can follow up with later.
Our roundtable discussion today was about community gardens, community farms, arboretums, and cut flowers.
How can this help cities across Mississippi?
Our new farm bill this year, for the first time in the history of the farm bill, includes community and urban gardens support. So if you want to develop a farm in your town, you can contact them for resources that they provide to grow food, flowers, herbs, fruit, and other things.
What kind of benefits is this going to have?
It's a huge benefit for especially rural Mississippi, a source of food security. You're creating jobs all over the state. Growing cut flowers in Mississippi is a huge opportunity because 86% of cut flowers that are sold in America are imported from other countries. We can grow 90% of that in Mississippi, so you've created jobs throughout rural Mississippi. And it's a great thing for the community. It beautifies the community, as well as supporting pollinators.
Our roundtable discussion today deals with community water fluoridation within our community and in our state. The benefits of fluoridation is cost sufficiency and tooth decay decreases.
How many communities in Mississippi are currently providing fluoridation?
Well, that's actually a discussion that should be further validated with the community, with the Environmental Health Department.
What is your recommendation to municipalities around Mississippi?
Actually, to get involved with community water fluoridation. Our efforts, though they are far, we still need more assistance. We need more education centered around community water fluoridation. So the more people we have involved, the more policymakers and legal advisors that we have that understand the benefits and the efforts that our state is doing, then if we can get that information out, then I think we can have a better propellant to move community water fluoridation program forward.
Our roundtable discussion today consisted of economic and community development. Our office at Mississippi State University Extension, Center for Government and Community Development, handled a number of topics, including the CARES Act, COVID relief, how to levy taxes within counties that include multiple zip codes, and other economic and tourism development.
What kind of success stories have you seen?
Through our discussion today, we were able to point people in the direction of applying for grants, writing grants, and how to spend federal tax money.
How does this benefit the municipalities?
This benefits municipalities by improving their water resources, their infrastructure, broadband, hospitals, and just overall how to get money to help themselves out.
Our roundtable discussion talks about pay classification and compensation for local government officials. It's important in terms of determining pay comparisons amongst different cities, as well as internal equity amongst employees within those municipalities.
What advice do you have for municipalities across Mississippi?
Pay equity is important because it's good to be competitive amongst the other municipalities. Right now, of course, during the age of COVID, we have a pretty tight labor market in terms of talent. We're losing a lot of first responder positions, public work positions, and many other different positions. And the objective is to remain more competitive within your pay structure in order to retain talent and retain and recruit, essentially.
Our roundtable discussion today, it deals with MDA's Community Incentives Division's grants and loans programs. Most of our grants and loan programs go directly to municipalities to help in infrastructure, both for community development and economic development.
What type of programs are there? How do they benefit cities and towns?
We have grant and loan programs, so the grants, of course, is free money. Loans have low interest, so that will help communities either fund fully their infrastructure needs, such as water, sewer, or they can be gap funding. If they have other funding and they just need a little extra, we can provide that for them also.
What kind of success stories have you seen?
I would say probably the biggest success stories we've seen regard the water and sewer needs in Mississippi. I think some people would be shocked to know at some of the situations people in Mississippi are in, having little to no clean water to drink. Some have sewage, like just running into their yards. Because the infrastructure in Mississippi in certain cases is so old, or they were never connected to the main infrastructure system. So when we're able to provide that funding to hook them up to the main system and make some improvements, it changes people's lives.
How is the federal money going to help in this area?
The federal money can be used along with MDA's funds. We have both federal and state funds that can be used together.
Our roundtable today will be covering travel for municipalities as well as what makes expenditures legal. And it's a large part of the cost of the city, so we would like to cover that and make sure everybody's comfortable.
What is your advice to cities across Mississippi?
Well, anytime you have a question about any type of expenditure or any revenue question, call the Office of Technical Assistance with the state auditor and let us help you before something becomes a problem.
Why is this such an important issue?
Well, municipalities have turnover just like any other business, and so sometimes people don't have the experience they need to feel comfortable making decisions, and that's where we can help.
Our roundtable discussion today deals with Mississippi Department of Human Services, and we're going to be talking about all of the basket of services that our agency provides. It's very important to municipalities because we provide economic assistance, we provide child care assistance, we provide aging and adults services, we provide child support and a whole basket of benefits that can be of use to municipalities and particularly to their residents. We work from a point of chaos a lot of times with families to a point of sustainability through things like the SNAP program and the TANF program and our child care subsidies that we provide. The whole idea behind the work that MDH does is to offer Mississippians young and old tangible help today so that they can have a lasting hope tomorrow.
What is your message to municipalities around the state?
Well, our message to municipalities is we want to be in business with you. We want to have you as workfare partners. We want to provide benefits to your residents. We just simply want to be partners with municipalities, towns and cities all across the state of Mississippi.
Our roundtable discussion today is concerning the Mississippi Planning Development Districts. There's 10 of us in the state, and we cover all 82 counties and the municipalities. And what we'll cover today, a lot of different state and federal funding or services that are available in their area that our offices may manage. We'll also talk about managing those programs, make sure they stay in compliance with federal and state rules. A lot of economic development discussion. If industries expanding or locating in the area, we can help with that, financing or helping improve the facilities that they may be operating in. Anything that's dealing with private injection of funds or job creation.
How does this benefit municipalities and the people that live in them?
Well, part of it may be jobs for the people in the communities. We also do a lot of the elderly services that will bring the care to the home to keep someone out of the nursing home. So you may have that loved one that's at risk of going to the nursing home. They can contact our office and we may be able to coordinate those services to come to that house to keep them at home longer, for a better quality of life.
Our roundtable today is about ALICE, Asset Limited, Income Constrained, and Employed. The United Ways across the state of Mississippi collaborated together to create a financial hardship product, compliments of the Kellogg's Foundation. This product gives you a wonderful idea of what the state of Mississippi is like. A lot of us know and understand that we are comprised of low-income families in our community. But what we don't know is the subset of individuals who fall above the federal poverty line, but below what it takes in order to make ends meet. And each of us gathered here today, we're here because we want to serve our communities. And if you want to serve your communities, you must know what your community is made of. So I encourage you to come to Table 8 today to learn about ALICE and the financial hardship budget that ALICE must live by in order to survive.
What is your message to municipal officials?
that we really need to make sure that we have a good understanding of this subsection of our population. But not only an understanding, we must invite Alice to the table to have these conversations with us so that we know exactly what Alice families need in our communities.
Our roundtable discussion today deals with the grant opportunities that the Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks makes available to municipal governments, towns, counties. The two programs specifically that we're here to discuss are the Recreational Trails Program and the Land and Water Conservation Fund program. Okay, both of these programs deal with outdoor recreation opportunities. Recreational Trails, as the name implies, is funding that we provide for the construction of trails and also trailside amenities. Land and Water Conservation Fund not only funds trails, but also park facilities, baseball fields, soccer fields, fishing access, hunting access, a wide variety of funding opportunities for towns and counties out there. So we encourage you to come by Table 13 and discuss those opportunities.
Our roundtable is going to be dealing with public water supplies, what there is a need to know on what the responsibilities of water system officials have, what they're supposed to do, and how to best help their citizens have good, safe drinking water.
Tell me about the federal money that's coming into Mississippi. How is that going to enhance the water systems in the state?
Well, the federal money is coming in two different ways. One of it is ARPA, which is, and from the Department of Health's point of view, we're handling rural water associations. But if you want some ARPA money in your city or county, you need to talk with the DEQ about that. But we still have an involvement in helping that process move forward. The other money is the bill money, or the bipartisan infrastructure law. That'll be money for emerging contaminants such as PFAS, PFOA, if it's found on the system. We also have money for lead service line inventory replacement if that's what the city needs, or a county. Well, county might need it too. And we also are going to have additional monies that will be coming through the SRF program to beef up the program on an annual basis for at least the next 5 years.
Our roundtable discussion today will talk about the challenges that small towns are facing, and we're going to address those and hopefully provide some resources for communities.
What are some of those challenges?
Well, we're not sure just yet. A lot of times it's the need for public space, it's connecting daily destinations. It could be a number of things, but that's what we're here to find out.
What kind of success stories have you seen?
You know, I think it depends on the community. A lot of people who are changing their economies to one of more cultural and arts-based economies are really seeing the benefits economically.
What advice do you have to municipalities around Mississippi?
I think that there are a lot of great resources for our communities, and so the Small Town Center is one of those resources that communities can contact. MSU Extension's another one, but I think utilizing those resources to their benefit would be really helpful.
Our roundtable discussion today is about mosquito control and whether or not towns and cities need to do that. And so we're going to explain about the different products, the pros and cons of doing it, the dangers, liabilities, and etc.
How serious is the problem of mosquito in Mississippi, and why should municipalities be involved in eradicating them?
Mosquitoes are bad in the South. We have a lot of rain, we have a lot of water. So yeah, there's a need for mosquito control, both from their nuisance biting and also disease transmission, but it's not required. A municipality doesn't have to do mosquito control, but if they choose to, that's what we're going to talk about today.
What is your advice?
My advice is to do it, but try to do it with the least amount of money, the most bang for your bucks, and we'll explain that.
Our roundtable discussion today deals with government surplus, everybody's absolute favorite thing to do and highest priority. So essentially we are like the eBay for government agencies to offload their surplus materials.
How does the program work?
Everything from real estate to three-legged chairs. We auction online, and our winning bidders pay the fees, so the government pays nothing to sell anything on our site.
How has this benefited cities and towns?
Oh my gosh, they, instead of having to go out for sealed bid or the hassles or the poor return on the money, we have about 4 million registered and vetted bidders that bid on it, and obviously the more eyes on it, the higher returns and the better for the taxpayers.
Our roundtable discussion today is regarding tower facilities and right-of-way uses of the right-of-way, municipal right-of-way. Well, the municipal right-of-way is like for people that see the wires that you see on telephone poles and electric poles in the right-of-way. Well, those rights-of-way are managed by the cities in Mississippi. And our discussion will center on how do cities charge for the use of those right-of-ways and how do they protect their use. So it's quite extensive in terms we also look at city facilities like water tank towers and land leases as well for telecommunications.
How does this benefit the taxpayers?
It benefits the taxpayers by making sure the asset they owned is that they're compensated for it. That helps offset costs to the taxpayers in terms of it could lessen property tax bills or sales tax bills they would have to pay by actually charging for the true value of the assets in the community.
Our roundtable discussion this afternoon, Mississippi 811, we're dealing with some of the state digging laws that's been in effect for the last year, going on 2 years. Mississippi 811 is actually the Mississippi call center. All states in the United States is required to have a call center. Now the call center, what is it for? Is you call 811. That's the only numbers you have to call. The ladies down there will answer the phone. They will pull up your data that you have sent us, and anybody that's going to be digging in your area, those are the only people that's going to be contacted back to go out there and locate their own lines.
And why is that so important?
Well, today what it costs to repair any kind of utility, especially with fiber optic going in day and night, and also your water lines, your gas lines, your power lines, anything that's underground is to protect those underground utilities. One of the things that we're going to be talking about is mandatory positive response. When your locator goes out there and locates their lines, there's a form, or they go online to let the contractors know the lines have been located. Then that way, when all of them have, it's sent back into our office. We email the contractors or the excavator, and he can go ahead and start work. The second thing we're going to be talking about this afternoon is going to be the AVR, Alleged Violation Report. Now, what this is for is a lot of these systems are getting damaged by third-party contractors coming in there, tearing the lines up. This is a form that can actually be filled out, sent in with pictures and stuff, where these people can be fined, their companies can be fined, and not only that, it'll help them recoup any and all expenses that they would be out by the damage that's been done. So today and another thing we're going to get into is what is happening. What do y'all need from us from the 811 call center that'll help you in your system to maintain a good operation?
One of the main issues I want to look at is on spending the infrastructure money, the internet sales tax, because I think that'll be an investment that we can invest in for the next several years and generations to come, and be able to have a lasting investment in infrastructure on things that we couldn't normally afford, without it. And that's one of the main things I want to look at is on infrastructure and investing that money, because we fix next year hit 100%. We started 25, 50, 75. Next year be 100%, and that's money that we got to invest in our municipalities.
I've attended the mosquito vector program and the water fluoridation program. They've both been very beneficial. I'm from New Hebron. We are actively doing mosquito control. So I was glad to hear the presentation on that, knowing that we're doing a good job with that. The fluoridation was something that I was interested in, and it was some very good information as well.
I attended the North Delta Planning and Development Association Roundtable, and it basically just talked about mostly the use of the opera funds and how various agencies throughout Mississippi are utilizing those funds, and those agencies assisting local municipalities in using those funds.
How is this going to help you back home?
It's going to help me go back, for one, to begin to create a comprehensive plan
or reach out to one of the agencies that assist our municipality to help us and aid us in creating a comprehensive plan.
This is my 9th year to be here. Very enjoyable, very informative. Sat in on a round table with the audit department and just finished up with a group with to give us some advice on our contracts regarding towers and what have you that rent space from us. Very informative.
How can this help you back home?
Well, you just know what's out there and how to best serve your folks in your city, and make sure that you're doing it by the book as well.
I attended 4 roundtables. I attended the outdoor recreational for parks program, and I learned some of the grants that I could incorporate in my community to do a beautiful skate park, for example, and that was the main focus for me. I also attended flowers and trees, some kind of program, so I could probably do an arbitrary or plant more bulbs in my community to colorify it and make it beautiful. I also went to the travel roundtable. It was also awesome to learn about travel incentives, and I finished up with another class that was talking about different things, grants that we can get for programs in our community.
Is this valuable information for you?
Valuable information. Now I'm able to find out the fundings, find out what that other areas are doing to incorporate it in my city.
I went to the Mississippi Planning and Development District, and I learned about some grant opportunities that are available for our town. And then I went to the Mississippi Department of Health, the water fluoridation, and there's some new things coming down the road in terms of fluoridation for your water.
How valuable are these roundtables for you?
They've been very valuable. You meet other people that have like needs and make some good contacts.
I plan to attend the outdoor recreational grant opportunities to learn more about some issues, some things that we can do for the young people in our community as well as the seniors in our community, so we can get together with some recreation like bingo, a playground, walking trail, anything that we can do that'll bring our community together, but also mainly in that with the exercise, with the walking trail, and getting our seniors out, getting them active in the community, getting them moving, not just at home due to COVID. We want to get them out, so we want to learn some things that are going to help bring them out, that we can all come together in fellowship.
I went to the public water system class, and it just helps you with the classifications and knowing about your water system and what's important, what areas to look out for, as wells and tanks and things like that, just to kind of help our guys keep our system going smoothly. And then I went to the small town center because I'm working on a comprehensive plan for the city of Eupora, and I think she could be an asset to help me get my plan and the pamphlet ready, to show my constituents in the city.
The first round table I attended was table number 5. Table number 5 was talking about fluoridation and clear water, and how fluoridation would help the community and especially the children.
The one with the gardening, I think, was very good. Miss Donna did a good job presenting it, and also I think it had a lot of valuable information on how to get started to growing cut flowers in Mississippi, so piqued my interest very, very much on that.
How can this help your town?
Well, I think it helps beautify the town also, and also it I just think just beautifies the town, I guess you could say.
I went to classification and compensation for local government officials, and it was really helpful because it kind of is a survey, and it puts you where you are in relation to what other areas are paying, so you know where you stand and you can be competitive and make sure you compensate your officials adequately.
How will this help you when you take this information back home?
Well, it will help us take a look at where we are and see what other areas around us are doing, so we have retention of our first responders, and that will be very helpful.
I went to the one on public water supplies, and I was being moderated by Bill Moody from Mississippi Department of Health. And it was very helpful on a lot of the issues that my city, Jackson, is facing and confronting regarding meeting all the requirements of the EPA and Department of Health as to water safety and water pressure and other issues that we confront with our water treatment plants.
Jackson had a water crisis not too long ago. How is this information going to be able to help you?
Well, it helps us in understanding, what are the resources we can tap into, no pun intended, and what, where we can seek out assistance, both financial and expertise-wise, in addressing the problems the city continues to face with its clean water plants.
So we spoke with some of the presenters about the satellite antennas and cell phone antennas and stuff being added to the water towers, and that's just looking for an additional opportunity for us to generate some revenue for our community and our water system. And then the other one that I've attended has been the fluoridation of the public water system, and that's something that we participate in. I know that the current situation is driving the cost up, and also there's a shortage of it. We're just having a tough time getting it into America and into the state of Mississippi, and we hope that we find some form of resolution for that in the near future.
The trails grant funding, and it's very, very interesting, and I learned a lot of what all they help with the grants. So it was real knowledgeable.
How could this help your town back home?
It can help add trails and just experience nature and enjoy the outdoors in our town.
What kind of response have you had from the mayors as far as the value of the training programs?
Oh, they appreciate it very much because they see the value in education, and being equipped to make their community a better place is just something they can't put a price on.